I need help. I mean, no, like seriously, I need some help with this Mercedes Benz. I bought it off of IA.com. It was in a wreck, and apparently the motor didn't survive whatever the previous owner had run over. And now I'm way deep in this thing. I mean, I've bought a lot of parts. I've bought a motor, I've bought a subframe, I've bought control arms, I've bought a power steering rack, I've bought struts, I've bought an AC condenser, I've bought an AC compressor, I've bought a radiator. I mean, I've pretty much bought basically everything for this car except for the transmission. And that's usually my expertise on cars. Today I'm going to be testing my body expertise on cars. And I don't have as much experience in body work as I do mechanical, but I have enough experience where I'm confident that I can get this motor and subframe back in this vehicle where it'll drive and run nice. My main concern is the actual area where the subframe bolts to the body of the car, because the two front ones got damaged and they actually act as like a stud that goes down into the subframe. One of them was actually ripped out of the car and the other one was severely bent. So I have to remove both of these and get them straight to where the subframe will fit up on them tightly and will hold the motor up in there. And the other problem is that I have to get this as straight as possible without a frame machine, because I do not own a frame machine and I don't have access to one. Now I have stuff all over the shop. I'm on a time crunch here and I need to get this thing back together. So let's see what we can do to get this thing back where it'll run, drive, and maybe make a little fun. Okay, so here's the plan. Let me, where'd it go? I got shit everywhere back here. Alright, here's the plan. Alright, so two front pieces here on the frame. That one's bent, obviously. Now, we look inside here. This is the support bracket for the subframe here. Now this has got to be drilled out. You see these little pinch welds? Bam, bam. There's one right there, one right there. We got to drill those out. And once we do that, and these are a little difficult because you see them right there. There's three. Well, they don't line up with these two. So that one lines up at the bottom, but then there's another one. You can kind of see the indentation right here. And then there's another one. You can kind of see the indentation like right here. So right there and right there. We're just gonna have to guess when we're drilling it out. Hopefully get it right. These three are easy. And then there's one right here as well. So we're gonna drill them out, see if we can get these brackets out. That's the plan. And then we're gonna repair the brackets and then put them back in. And if we need to, we're going to push this back over a little bit and get this back over. And what we're probably gonna do is dry fit the subframe up onto here first. And then, all right, these have been coming out pretty easy so far. We got this last top one here. Oh, money. Money. It don't get much better guesswork than that. Right there on the tab. All right, now we gotta get this one. See how much it helps? There we go. It's okay, you come on out. There we go. All right. Now we got a bracket to fix. Not too shabby, huh? Let's see if we can get the other one out as well. Let me go. All right, so the motor's looking a little different now. This is the one we're putting in it. I got the intake off. I got the whole wiring harness off. I got the valve covers off. I basically got it stripped down. Now we're gonna clean some of this stuff up here so it looks nice and pretty, and we're gonna vacuum it out inside. And then I got my valve covers over here. They're shined up, you know? Look how shiny those are. And we're still working on the subframe issue here. Kind of just taking a break from it, just getting the motor ready. I got everything lined up nicely. That is almost as good as I think I can get that stud to be. I mean, it's a whole lot better than it was. I mean, it looks night and day. It's still a little bit to the front, but that's still so much better than it was. And then this one, you know, I'm waiting to see if I can weld this together. And if I need to go buy a new one, I'm gonna go get a new one. But that's gonna be this afternoon's project. For now, I'm gonna start getting the motor ready to go, and then that way, as soon as I'm done with this, I can go ahead and install the motor. I don't have to wait. So that's all the parts I got out of. All right, so we got these back installed, and I got my spot weld points that I need to do on both sides. Now, what we're gonna do first, we're gonna raise this thing, jack this thing on up, and we're gonna line up the frame, make sure it lines up nice before we Okay, so we've made a determination that this frame is not completely lined up, but it's not that bad. So just to show you, when we pick it up, you can see we are off by a little bit there. Even on this one over here, we're off by a little bit. And that one's supposed to be. All right, so this is how close we got it, and right here, and we just got to go a little bit further that way. Oh, look at that. Look at God. All right, I didn't film how I did this because it's probably illegal in 5 states, but we did it. So literally, I ratchet strapped a pry bar against the mount, pried the frame this way, got it to line up with this one, and that one, and that one, and that one. And we are all lined up. I have no idea how straight it is. I have no idea how crooked it is, but hopefully it'll dry fine. Hopefully it'll line fine. If not, I guess somebody's just gonna be driving a crooked Mercedes, because I got the frame in it. So the next thing that's happening is the motor's going in. All right, now for the real test, huh? So I'm soaking this thing down in brake cleaner. My idea is to get so high that I don't know how much I'm working on this. No, I'm just kidding. Now my idea is to make this thing so shiny that nobody pays attention to the fact that it's a Mercedes, or the fact that it's an '05 Mercedes, or the fact that it might have been in a wreck, and they just look at how nice the motor is in it and how clean it is. That's my idea. I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know if it's going to work. Probably not. But we're going to do it anyway, because I'm already doing it and I want it to look nice. Did a lot of work to it, so it'd be cool if it looked nice. All right, we're gonna show you the progress on the Mercedes C240. Now we got the subframe up. We got our control arms in, even though they're not completely tight yet, but I got them in. And we're gonna have to get a new strut here because, yeah, that one's a little crooked. So we got that coming. And we got everything on the motor ready to go in. Now we had a few problems here, mainly with the transmission and power steering lines. Now a few of them were bent up from the accident. I was able to repair this transmission line over here and get it to where it looks good. And the power steering line right here, it ended up not breaking. And then I had to bend this one up here that's on the frame, this power steering line. I had to bend it into place, but we finally got it into place. We got a power steering rack on the way too. And this transmission line was the real problem. Now this thing rides underneath the motor. It was right there at the problem spot where the wreck happened. Right underneath the motor right there is where it rides. And so it got bent up. This metal piece right here got bent up. So I went to a local hose, I guess you would call it a store or a hardware store, hose store, or a hydraulic line store, and they repaired this line for me. And basically I just told them I need that end and that end and all the metal in here not bent up. And they were like, well, we can throw a rubber hose in there. I was like, well, I don't care, because now that's flexible and it'll be easier to get on the transmission, especially since it's still a little bent up down there. But that's all good now. So we got that one squared away. In the next episode, we're going to be installing the motor, servicing up the transmission, installing the transmission, and hopefully we can get this thing to drive. We may run into some hiccups on the way, but it shouldn't be nothing too big for me to overcome. We have some parts that are still on the way. We have 2 front struts and a power steering rack, and we really can't drive it until we at least have a power steering rack and at least 1 strut. That front driver's side strut is pretty bent. So until those parts come in, you can just head over to Facebook and Instagram, follow me there, and I try to post daily on both accounts. You can also DM me any questions you may have, and if you want a free t-shirt, feel free to DM me as well. Until next time, whatever you're doing, however you're doing it, make sure you stay dirty doing it, and you can just call me Eddie.